Hello everyone. Welcome to Deku Universe. Today we are beginning What If Deku Became Angel of Destruction? The fanfiction is created by Marth747 on Wattpad. Now let's begin. In the beginning, the time of heroes are a reality, so along with the day of villains, as they fought in an endless battle, quirks are also growing stronger with each passing day. But when will a savior arrive? Only time will tell. As the bus approaches a facility, seeing how guarded this place is, a peculiar student is curious hearing everything in the background. This girl has earphone jacks for ears, and was the one who is worried why they are here. This is Kyoka Jairu, and her classmates is the prestigious Class 1A that is supposedly holding the most promising batch of future pro heroes in training. Momo. Jairu, what do you think this is? Curious. Momo may seem like the smartest person in the class, but even she is confused on where we're at. Kirishima. Hey Mr. Aizawa, where are we? Aizawa. To see some important things. Principal Nizu will be there to explain everything, but something is bothering them. Some feeling they have, fear, or worry seems to creep into all of their minds. Ochako. Something feels off about this place, it's odd. Lita. I have to agree with you, Uraraka, but as we heard, we are pro heroes in training. Hopefully Principal Nizu will shed some light on this. Jairu was also feeling very odd. Her hearing may be the most superb in her abilities, hearing the slightest noise in the distance, to even feeling low-frequency sounds that aren't audible to the normal hearing. So why is she feeling this odd humming, like it's calling out to her? Momo. Jairu, are you alright? Something like a low humming noise. Momo. Is it because of your ears? And she nods. Mina. Could be something sinister? No. But it doesn't seem natural. As they approached the building now, the feeling became suddenly stronger. Jairu. Okay. Breathing a little soon, Nizu waves at them as he was on Midnight's shoulder. Midnight. Hey misfits. Waving. Kirishima. Hey Midnight Sensei. Mina. Yep. Momo. Hello Principal Nizu. Bowing. Nizu. Hello there young students, I see you are all confused on what this place is, correct? And they nodded, wondering themselves. It doesn't look like Tartarus or any other prison. So what is it? Nizu, you all are at a facility known as Epsilon 5. What the purpose is, this building contains those who have quirks that are very unstable and powerful or harmful to them. This place is designed to help those with those quirks to help them control it or understand it better. Momo, so we're going to see some people here? Nizu, well, it varies. Most of the occupants are children or teens your age almost, and of course they are not prisoners. When they finally are able to control their quirk, they are free and provided help to settle in the outside world. Jairu wasn't really listening. So could an occupant be responsible for this low humming? Kaminari, seems pretty huge for a facility. Mineta, oh, I would like to see some potential bub, he muttering. Mina, gross, but hey, at least we'll see some cool quirks. Siro, yeah. Bakugo, no F quirk will ever be better than mine. Jairu, typical of a blonde whose ego is bigger than their PP. Bakugo, shut the F up. Aizawa, enough. Nizu, anyway, let's proceed, shall we? Lita, well then, I suggest we go in a single file line. But that was ignored. Todoroki, it's not preschool Tenya. Lita, ***, and soon the doors open, and of course it was a bulkhead that 3 layers of steel that looked really difficult to break. Soon they enter as they are in awe. First thing they are greeted with is the guards that nods as he opens the gate, making a buzzing sound where an elevator that's large enough for all of them to fit in comes out. Aizawa, come on, and they follow, although some are afraid. Soon he presses a button to sublevel 17. This goes down 17 floors and it goes down. Momo, wow, this is amazing, in awe of how huge the place is. Soon Jairu was now feeling it worse, as the humming is growing even more louder, to a point that it's surging through her entire body. Kirishima, bro, this is amazing. Mina, a bit creepy too. Soon once they reached sublevel 17, the doors open to multiple cells or containment chambers they are called, and they each look into them, as the rooms alone are very large, and it goes down so they see everything from a high view. The first one was interesting, as it was a boy who was painting, but the room was slightly covered in some gas. Momo, What is this gas? Nizu, him. This child, and I would rather not say their name, was first recovered back in the United States. Reasons are is his quirk. Lita, what is it? Aizawa, his quirk allows him to release a gas or pathogen that contains certain viruses that is currently known around the world. As it was examined, he expelled a gas that contained the bubonic plague, Spanish flu, swine flu, common cold, or even the long-faded Ebola virus. There also more as it was documented, but that would be a long explanation. But he has no control of it, as the quirk would activate on its own. Momo, such a very dangerous quirk. Mina, a walking infector? Drew, but she was still hearing the humming. Mineta, man that sucks. Soon they continue on, and the next cell was a girl that looked about 7 years old, playing with a guard who has a small toy with him. Momo, what about this one? Nizu, her quirk allows her to cast and form lava. Momo, lava? Mina, is that why her neck has that collar? Nizu, well, it doesn't fully suppress it. It helps her control it, as it all involves how she controls her emotion. If she is excited or angry, it will activate. So they are trying to help her train. Todoroki, emotions. Why does that remind me of someone? Kaminari, bro, lava girl here. If she can control it, she would be an epic hero. Mineta, yeah. Mina, I think for once I'll agree with you. Bakugo smirks, my type of quirk. Bachako, that very cool. Satu, very awesome. Soon they reached another cell. Momo, Mr. Aizawa? Aizawa, Momo, why are we here really? Nizu, that is because one of them is going to be your future classmate, and they were shocked hearing that. Bakugo, we're going to have one of these freaks in our class? Lita, Bakugo, that's not appropriate to say. They didn't choose to be born this way. Aizawa, only reason is there is only 19 of you in the class alone, so deal with or get out. And they look into the chamber to see a boy almost their age hanging in a cocoon-like bed sleeping. Nizu, another dangerous one. This boy's quirk allows him to control and manipulate dreams, and could bring them into our world or devour them, and they were shocked at how much these quirks vary in dangerous situations. Bakugo, eating dreams and could bring nightmares into reality. No fucking thanks. Mina, I agree with that. Ochako, but it could also be good in a way. It could help someone who has nightmares and he could devour them. Nizu, very good case, as he is also able to look into the dream. So it can be utilized in different ways that could be very helpful. Now then was the final one that takes the cake and the very source of the low humming gyro is having. But they didn't see it had a cell, but a separate door that has to open again. Nizu, now then students, this one is a very very dangerous one. So much that we advise on making any sort of loud noise. That goes to you Bakugo, and he just growls. Soon they enter to what seems stairs and it goes down even. Gyro was now feeling dizzy as the noise has now surged even more. She felt like throwing up. Nizu, I know what you're feeling, young J. Please be strong. Soon he opens it to hear a bunch of voices, and they look to see a choir, so many people singing a hymn that could only be described as appealing and unknown at the same time. Momo, so appealing, even Bakugo was in awe, but that wasn't the reason why they are there. They look to the left to see their final chamber, the final occupant of sublevel 17, and what they see is out of this world, from a virus quirk, to lava, and to eating or creating dreams. No. In front of them was the source of Gyros humming as she looks in shock. Wings, lots and lots, and lots of white wings that are in sizes imaginable. The whole chamber is filled with it, and to top it all, there is a light that is radiating in the middle of it. No person is seen, so they guess they are in the middle of the wings. My God. Kirishima, holy SHT. Kaminari, Jesus, talk about being covered in wings. Mineta, bro. This is straight out of a DMN movie. Momo, it's both terrifying yet appealing. Mina, I'm more on the terror side. Ochako, but who is it? Aizawa, say hello to the one with many wings. I know the name is not original, as the wings itself is an oddity. They seem to grow at an astonishing rate, by sound, and the chants of a Gregorian chant or some hymn will slow the growth and soothe it. And to top it off, Nizu then brings out a glass container which contains a single feather. Nizu, this is the feather of the winged one, and this is why it's dangerous. As he opens the top, he takes out a piece of paper to slowly put it on top of it, and he lets go. To their shock, they see the paper easily cut in pieces from this feather. Momo, so the wings are sharp and could turn us into mush. Aizawa, that's the point. It seems to be a barrier to protect the occupant who is theorized to be in the center of it all. Momo, couldn't you be able to use your quirk on them? Aizawa, it will only work if I have a direct line of sight of the actual user. Lida, that is problematic. Nizu, and to also note, to make it more annoying than it should have to be, you cannot at any means ring a bell in front of it. Jairu, why is that? Aizawa, ever heard the term of, when a bell rings an angel gets its wings? Momo, oh, so now they understand, but they also notice something. The light seems to be pulsing, growing dim and back to bright again. Midnight, what's sad is the user is slowly dying, the light indicating his life force, as it will slowly dim with each passing day. We have no way of getting through without the cost of lives, and I know we are trying our absolute best, but we believe that this is a lost cost, so we try to have the choir perform for it, to try and soothe it until it finally dies, and they couldn't help but just stare in full sadness and sorrow. Knowing this person cannot be saved, but they need to try. Right? But they wouldn't want to get killed by it, except for one person. Jairu, they are dying, and no one is doing anything. Couldn't it try to communicate? A goes like quirk? Or altogether try and use telepathy from Mandalay? This is annoying. Soon she walks up to the window, looking at all of the wings moving on its own as it soon seems to point in a single direction, and that was her, freaking out a bit. She soon jacks into the ground, and then, the low humming came back. This time it was not as drastic as before, but it seems to try and speak. She doesn't know. She sees the light pulsing again. She felt compelled to go to it, to approach the winged creature. Now she felt like her body is moving on its own as she walks out. Momo, Jairu, she sees her friend exiting the room. Kirishima, bro, is she alright? Kaminari, Jairu, girl, you okay? Mina, that's my line. Ochako, Jairu, but soon she goes out, wondering if the noises is what's causing her to exit. Aizawa took notice and followed her, only to see her break the door to the chamber, and she enters as the silent alarm blares and the door close immediately. Aizawa, SHT, and he tries to open it. Midnight also panicked along with the students. They tried to blow the door open, but it was no use. Guards now saw this, but the choir still sings. Knowing if they stopped the wings might grow and kill her, the other students tried to yell for her, but the soundproof room did not allow it, as they can only stare in horror seeing their friends slowly walking over to the wings. Soon. They aren't prepared for what happens next. Jairu walks down the stairs, slowly. She felt dazed, and not even herself. She was hearing the low humming sounds drawing her in. Even her jacks are pointing to the wings. Her eyes didn't shine, and she looked hypnotized. Once she got down the final step, the wings then moved at such a high speed it shouldn't be even remotely possible to only see the wings slightly point downward. That would act as a walkway for her. Thinking this was going to be the end of her life, her foot makes contact with the feathers, only to receive no harm from it, not even cutting into her shoes, and she walks up. As the students in the background are shocked seeing the wings is not harming her, but it's allowing her to come close. Even Nizu was surprised, and Aizawa, who is normally a person who doesn't give a SHT. Jairu then sees the light change color, from its warm white color, to now changing to an ice white color. With some blue tint in it, the wings unravel more and more, seeing the insane amount of layers this thing has, to a point she can no longer be seen as the wings closed behind her. The others await for further instructions. Aizawa, we need to head in. Nizu, no. Let her in. We need to see what is going to happen. Momo, are you kidding? My friend just got herself caught up in a dangerous situation, yelling out to them. Nizu, yes, but mind that the wings did not harm her. Jairu soon noticed the humming noise stopped. She was brought out of her trance. She then realized her situation. Jairu, oh, is it? What did it do? Scared now, the wings even closed behind her. But she had touched it, to see it feels soft, so soft that it makes silk feel rough. She felt like laying down on them to just sleep forever, but that's not the case. Principal Nizu said they are dying, so maybe this is a way of calling out for help. Gyra built up the courage to walk towards the light, with each step being a wing. She was obviously scared. Hearing the chanting in the background makes this feel like something divine. She finally reaches the heart of this winged creature, the light, where all the wings are coming out of, to see a figure, in a fetal position. She can't tell who they are, as they are just a shadowed figure surrounded by the light. She then gets closer, right up to it, and it's now in front of her, barely a few inches away. Gyru, okay, you can do this, Gyre. You can probably stop this. Or help. Now having the courage, she reached into the light, to feel it, confusing. It felt very warm, very soothing and relaxing. Then she grabbed the figure's hand, and she was pulled into the light. Gyru, as she now was part of it, she still held on, and out of thought, she wraps her arms around the figure to comfort it. Then the light grows brighter, as she closed her eyes. Then the figure also tightened their grip on her hand. She still held on, as the entire area started to glow, causing the others outside to cover their eyes from the intense light, as the choir still kept it going. Give these guys AF raise. Soon the light dims, and then they look into the window, to see the wings are gone, and the door soon opens. The guards rush in along with the students and teachers. Aizawa, Gyru, Momo, Gyru. As the light fades now, she was sitting on the ground. She was okay, but not without her little friend there. Momo, is that? Seeing the figure up close now, was just a boy who is the same age as them, his spiky unkempt green hair, and the freckles shaped in a diamond formation. His body looked somewhat muscular, but he was also malnourished. And to top it off, 6 individual wings covers the upper part of his body, one around Gyre, pulling her close, and his arms clinging onto her hands like his life depends on it. Kirishima, bro. You did it. You saved him, manly. Nizu, so this was a boy all along. Midnight, he is so cute. Momo, you did it, Gyru. Aizawa, and she slightly shivered, looking to her teacher waiting for her to be expelled. Aizawa, good work. You did the impossible. Now he smiles slightly. Gyru, thank you, sensei. I think he was the one calling out to me. And the guard's medic came up to check his vitals, seeing he seems fine, but the feathers cuts the medic's arm. Midnight, ye stay back, students, seeing the wings can still harm people. Gyru was confused. Why isn't it hurting her? Momo, maybe this boy is allowing her to come to him. Maybe he has the most trust with her. Gyru, seems to be the case. I hope this is the case. Soon the news off the boy who was saved by the girl who seemed like a nobody was unharmed. Of course you would think this would end here, until Nizu had the idea of putting the boy into their class, making it now 20 students. Of course many had their opinion on the matter. Kirishima, I think it's manly. Mina, he's cute, but I don't know. Ochako, I hope this will help him. Ojiro, help. Tokoyami, a being that has the appearance to an angel, is the opposite. The dark may shiver in fear from his presence alone. Dark Shadow, make sure to keep away from him. Momo, I think it's important for him to be reintroduced back into society. Bakugo, that nerd, I knew him back then, went by as Zuku during that time. Gyru, he seems to be really clingy with me, for reasons I don't know, but he seems innocent from what his wings did. Lita, I will do my best to teach our new classmate the ways of how things are done, and I very much hope we could be great allies and friends. Tsuyu, I don't know about him, something about him seems off, something unnatural with his wings. Kero. Midnight, well, things should be under control now. Hopefully it will be a stable situation. Soon the next day came, and then, it was the first day. The classroom filled slowly. As they sat down in their seats, Jer was gone still, only because their new classmate didn't want to be anywhere away from her. Like a dog, he seems to be drawn to her, but he was never annoying or made himself a burden to her, and she was fine with it. If it was the other gals, they probably won't be so relaxed like she is with him. He is literally like a golden retriever. Soon Gyru enters the room. Momo, hey Gyru, and as expected the winged boy enters the room really shy, as he sees Bakugo using his wings to hide himself. Gyru grabs his hand. Come on, Pulling him to his seat, she had to SW's seat, so he sits next to her, which is an empty seat in the back. His wings cut the desk. Of course Izuku flinched. Izuku. No, he was worried now, of course, since the others just stared at him. Jairu, would you guys butt off, you're making him nervous? And they look away, but the first person to try and communicate with him was Lida. Lida. Hello there Izuku, I'm glad that you have joined our class. I hope we become friends in the future, making his robotic arm movement. Izuku just nods shyly. Ochako. Hi, I'm Ochako Uraraka, I'm glad you are able to control your quirk. It's pretty unique, smiling. Izuku, TT thanks. Jairu, alright Izuku, listen okay? And he nods, of course he was wearing a tunic, with a small Udata badge on it, as his wings are clearly in the way, so he waits for the teacher to come in, and he just stares around the room. He was curious, but he would never stray away from Jairu, but he would also sometimes chant. Jairu, okay he's here, and soon Aizawa comes in. Aizawa, okay today's lesson is another quirk assessment test, and the whole class groans. Aizawa, shut up, I didn't finish. The reason is your new classmate here needs to be able to utilize his quirk obviously, so Izuku, and he perks up. Aizawa, you can use whatever outfit you're comfortable, until we can get an outfit for you, and he nods. Bakugo, F Deku, you really are still the weak timid, and he looks down taking in the insult. Jairu, Bakugo F off you blonde dollar store Michael Bay film that was shitted out from the depths of hell. Bakugo, that's it. But as he was about to do something, Izuku then stood up, his wings flapped, and it created enough force to push him back, and he had this look on his face, an expression that would mean any harm to her will face him first. Aizawa then just had them go right now while he defuses the situation. Bakugo, F Deku and his worthless quirk, him and freak, and he walks out. Drew, come on Izuku, pulling his hand again. The changing room. Izuku, no, Jairu tried to pull him into the changing room. Jairu, damn it, I know you don't like it when I'm absent, please. I know you won't do anything, and he goes in, as Izuku cocoons himself in his wings, avoiding seeing the girls changing. Jairu, alright now then, as she changes. Momo, why is he in here? Jairu, you want him the boys' room by himself? Momo, he could be by himself from time to time. Jairu, I'm sorry, but he is not Mineta or Kaminari. He is literally innocent to this type of so cut him some slack. Mina, that's fine. If he wants to look at me. Ochako, Mina. Tsu, I highly doubt that. Mina, I'm hurt. Tsu, words hurt. Izuku then ruffles a little as the wings go down more, hitting the floor, for finally got finished. Jairu, alright come on, and he follows, still covering his eyes. Momo, well at least he has respect. Ochako, that's good. Mina, it's not surprising, he was literally in a light ball yesterday. Momo, true. Toru, yeah he is quite adorable. Ochako, I guess. Momo, I don't know if I have the mental fortitude to even haul him around, let alone him orbiting her. Mina, well I'm sure he'll grow out of that phase the longer he's here. Out in the track field. Aizawa, alright you all are here except. Jairu, sorry, and they turned to see the two, but one thing was off. Izuku was not wearing a shirt, just shorts, and they could see all the features he offers, and honest to God it was nothing but jealousy and attractiveness, along with annoyance. Kirishima, bro he is jacked. Kaminari, I'm jealous. Mineta, why is he so perfect? Mina, asterisk whistle asterisk demon boy. Tsu, oh Karo. Ochako, looking away. Momo, wow. He literally looks like an angel, muttering out. Siro, bro he is ripped. Tokoyami, Bakugo, Deku. Todoroki, peculiar. Aizawa, alright now since we are here, we'll begin. With the 50-meter dash, and they lined up, soon they done the test being better than what they went through. Lida was even faster along with both Bakugo and Todoroki. Soon Jairu was up against Kaminari. Jairu just ran and she was faster, but not like the others, barely beating Kaminari. Soon it was Izuku's turn. Aizawa, Izuku you're up, Satu go, and they both lined up on the line. Satu, pissed, and he looks over at him. Izuku, Satu, try your best man, you'll do good, giving him some confidence. He nods. Aizawa, go, and soon Sata eats a Twix and he runs fast, but he suddenly sees a white blur past him as Izuku ran past him. Satu, whoa, and the others are impressed as well. Soon came the long jump and Jiru used her jacks to launch herself farther than before. Yes, proud of herself, she scored a new score, and she heard a small clapping as Izuku smiles with her. That smile was bright, it was blinding. Soon Izuku and Tsuyu came up. Izuku, okay, as soon Aizawa gives the signal, Tsuyu jumps very far. Tsuyu, Karo, beating her previous score. Izuku, cool, in all, soon he focuses and then jumps but using his wings to give him a boost and he jumps far as well, but he was still a couple of meters short from her score. Next was the running test to see how long they can run. Again some went farther than the first, as Jiru managed to keep up until she gave out. Izuku stayed with her pace, and he wasn't even breaking a sweat. The hell. Jiru, holy SHD Izuku. Keep going, I need to stop, but he holds her hand to which she was confused and he kept running. He was making her break her limit. She soon stops again but this time he picks her up and still runs. Jiru, whoa. Seeing Izuku full focused on beating everyone as Momo drives by, one of his wings extended unfortunately and it cuts the wheels. Momo, ish, and she face plants into the ground. Jiru, sorry Yamamo. Izuku then stops to check up on her. Izuku, oh. Like a dog who did something bad, his wings then flow down. Soon came up the last test, the ball throw, and of course everyone did better than last time. Aizawa, Izuku, you're up, and he timidly stepped forward, scared, seeing everyone looking at him to see if he really deserves to be in this school. Well, most of them are curious actually. Izuku, okay, and he breathes in and out trying to keep calm. Soon he draws in power as light particles can be seen going up to him. Next thing they knew was more wings started to form out of his back, some longer than others, as it then flips forward to a single point on the ball. Then asterisk swoosh. Asterisk, the light then made the ball propel extremely far. Almost the speed of light, the meter showed infinity, and the wings then faded away back to its original 6. Izuku, was it good? Asking him innocently. Aizawa smirks. You did very well, kid, and he nods and goes right up to Jiru once more. Jiru, whoa, now she knows the true threat of his wings. The amount back at the facility was insane, but with just 12 of them allowed him to bring out this much power. It was almost godlike, but she sees he looks very tired and frail now. Catching him again, there is some drawback to it, but she can't seem to figure it out. Izuku, home. Jiru, yeah, we'll go home. Izuku, smiling at him, ignoring the stares and awes of what power he has. Another figure could be seen in the background, a tall man who is also the #1 hero, All Might. This boy, it can't be. Is it really him? Izuku finished up cleaning his little mess he made on accident, and that was turning a desk into nothing. He couldn't help it that his wings are super sharp, but he did it anyway since no one was going to help. That's another problem. He sees some of them are genuinely trying to make conversation with him, while others are more hesitant and have some concerns. He can feel the emotions they display. Why can't he return to slumber? Hey, let's go. And he was confused. Izuku, where? Jiru, well, you aren't going to stay in school, dummy. I'll tell you along the way, and he follows. Izuku, oh, you're afraid of this place? He soon steps out of the gates that contained him for now. Jiru, so, they did a little digging, and guess what? They found your parents. And instead of being filled with joy, Izuku then cowers in fear, scared of what she just said, his wings covering him. Jiru, oh, bro, are you alright? Going up to him. Izuku, Noidentuan Togo Bakwat of Theatimi Kudnavir face. Soon Jiru brings his face close. Jiru, shushu, it's okay Izuku, it's okay. Bring him close to her chest, as he listens into her heartbeat. Izuku, still hyperventilating, calms down now. He really seemed to be extremely terrified at the thought of his parents alone. She doesn't even know why he's scared of them, but that alone was enough for her to bring him to her place instead. Jiru, it's alright, I won't take you there. We'll go to my place instead, would you like that? And he nods. He was crying a lot. But she didn't care if his tears was marking her shirt. She was tasked in watching over him. He called out for help, and he is going to get it. Izuku, you're home. Jairu, yeah. They are pretty chilled sometimes, but I'm sure they would understand the situation, and to also point out that they can be a bit colorful, and he tilts his head, God, it's so cute. Jairu, you'll know what I mean, but to add another note, is it possible for your wings to not be like a hazard? And he ponders on it, so he'll try. Soon they made it to her house, and the door opens immediately to an older woman, looking a lot like Kyoka, going out to hug her. Mika, oh my sweet, I was so worried for you. Jairu, muffling under her hug. Izuku was confused, what are they doing? Jairu, okay, let go mom. Mika, oh, I'm so glad you're fine, especially after what happened at USJ, and then the sports festival. I'm so relieved. Soon she noticed Izuku. Mika, oh, and who are you, Kyoka? Is this your boyfriend? And Jairu immediately turns red, badly. Jairu, no. Izuku, boy, friend. Jairu, this is Izuku, he's the one from Epsilon. Mika, the one with the huge wings, and they do look very nice, seeing his 6 wings. Mika, oh, it must be so hard for him, being in that light for a long time. Jairu, well, be careful of his wings, mom. He still doesn't know how to control it. Izuku nods, worried he might hurt her. Mika, I see. Well, your father is out touring again, since he only came during your festival, but I'm sure he won't mind the extra company. Jairu, yeah, come on, Zu, and he follows. To meet you, he said. Mika, and nice to meet you as well, Izuku. I hope you will take good care of my daughter. Izuku, Jairu, I have a question. Mika, I can try and answer. Izuku, what were you and Jairu just doing a while ago, like wrapping your arms around another? And she is surprised hearing this. Mika, that is called a hug. Izuku, it's when you want to show someone that you really care for them. Izuku, show that I care for them. Okay, thank you. Mika, no problem. Jairu, Izuku, you coming? And he goes up to her, then Izuku holds his arms out and hugs her. Jairu, what? Izuku, this is a hug, right? Jairu, but why? Izuku, your mom said that hugs shows that you care about the person. Jairu, so that's what she's going to hear it from her. Soon Izuku was brought into her room, as he was curious and looking around her room, seeing all the posters, vinyls, and even some guitars and basses there. His eye catches something. He looks to see an acoustic guitar, he feels the strings, and he plucked it. He flinched hearing the noise. Jairu, huh? Oh, you found the guitar. She goes up to get it down and she tunes it. Izuku, guitar? Jairu, yeah, it's an instrument. You can play music on this. Izuku then sits down, his wings on the floor. Jairu, you want me to play something? Asking him. Izuku nods and he softly smiles, curious to hear what it sounds like. Jairu, okay, this will be from a game I played when I was in middle school. Phew. Soon Jairu starts playing slowly, as Izuku listens intently. Jairu, our hero claims a warrior's heart. I tell you, the Dragonborn comes. And Izuku was in a trance. His wings subconsciously started to flap a little, glowing a little from hearing the tune. Ju, with a voice wielding power of the ancient Nord arts, believe, the Dragonborn comes, closing her eyes, putting her emotions into each word said, as Izuku can feel the emotion she is emitting, and soon his wings started to glow brighter and more of them started to emerge from his back. Jairu, it's an end to the evil of all Skyrim's foes. Beware, the Dragonborn comes, for the darkness has passed, the legend yet grows. You'll know, the Dragonborn comes. And soon she started to does a chorus, going into different notes that sound nothing but angelic to the winged boy. As the light continues to grow, so did his wings, and the next thing that she knew was her speaking the dragon language part. Jairu, Dovakian, nal okes in los varian. Wadine vocal mafarek ostval. Ark fin norak pogran fad nust han zindrozon. Dovakian, fahin kogan mudral. And soon she was finished singing, humming the last notes, to the song, and she strums the last note. Soon she was surprised seeing the wings growing again. She panicked, but instead they started to fade away again, as Izuku then emerges, crying. Izuku, appealing, was all he could say to her. Jairu, Izuku, are you alright? Going up to him worried her singing might have forced him to activate his quirk, but he was fine nodding to her about it. Izuku, music, so angelic, so divine, so appealing. You're appealing, Jairu, and she blushed again from this statement. Actually, it's the first time anyone has called her appealing. Sure, she is much like a tomboy, sure she doesn't act like the other girls in her class, but it doesn't mean that she would want to hear a compliment from time to time. Momo, she was jealous of how perfect she is, being smart, appealing, rich, mature, and her body. Who is the definition of a model? But Izuku didn't even react to her at all, not even saying anything about her. He would call Jairu appealing, which she thinks is a joke. Jairu, come on Izuku, you don't mean that, and Izuku was confused by this response. Izuku, I think you are, even when others don't see it. I do, in my eyes, you're appealing, both heart and mind, smiling. Okay, is this a confession? But then again, a while ago he didn't even know what a hug was, so she'll give him some slack for that. Jairu, do you know what appealing means? Izuku nods. Jairu, and you saw the other girls in our class, right? And he nods again. Jairu, they're appealing, their looks, their shape, their personalities, all of it. I'm nothing, Izuku, I'm just the same boyish, flat-chested girl who lives in a rocker family. That's it. So how could you describe as appealing? Izuku, I don't know, but you are. Does there have to be a reason for it? Tilting his head again. God, this boy is going to kill her by adorableness. Jairu, I guess not, she submits. She'll accept the compliment soon. She looks to see it was getting late. Jairu, well, we better get some rest, school's tomorrow and I don't want Mr. Aizawa scolding us for being late, and he nods as well. Of course in her mind she thought he was going to sleep on the couch, but she sees him cocoon in his wings. They provide him comfort, must be nice knowing how soft they are. Jairu, night Izuku. Izuku, and night, and they both went to sleep. Meanwhile, how is he out of Epsilon? I thought it was a lost cause. Nizu, apparently he sent out a very low-frequency sound that one of our students managed to pick up, calling out to her to save him or awaken him. Either way, he seems to be in perfect health despite the obvious mental state. Did you tell his parents yet? Nizu, I had young Jair take him to his home, but apparently he does not want to go home at all. He's afraid. Nizu, Yagi, it's been over 7 years since he was in that state. Do you really blame him for what happened? No, I do not. It was explainable why he felt ashamed to see them again, but in time, he's sure he'll want to face them again. Aizawa, and to top it off, he only allows Jairu to touch his wings, or even be in close contact with him, since they are still harmful to us, reasons we don't know, but it might have to do with his emotions and trust on the person. That could be the case, then I highly doubt I could be close to him at all then. Nizu, very possible. Since a single feather is enough to kill someone, imagine 1,000 of them on a single wing going at a fast speed. It's a whole other problem there. I'm sure my quirk could stop him, in case things get out of hand, but it's the feathers I'm worried about. Aizawa, you forget that he is now visible to my line of sight. Erasing his quirk will be helpful now, so it's actually easier to keep it under control for now. Nizu, and of course Jaira's situation. Since he doesn't want to be away from her, I asked if she wishes to have him away from her, but in fact she doesn't mind him at all. That's surprising. Nizu, I don't know why, but if she is fine with it, then it's okay for me as well. The next day, Jairu woke up and got ready for school. She already sees Izuku cleaned up and dressed for the day. She was surprised knowing he went out on his own. Jairu, you went out on your own, and he nods. Izuku, as you're in the house, and he smiles. Jairu, well, that's good. So you hungry? And he nods. Soon they head downstairs for the time being as she sees her mother already went out for the day. She brought out cereal. Jairu, well, we have some brands here, don't know they're old, but it's what we have, showing him the boxes. Izuku, okay, he doesn't really mind. Jairu, okay then, what do you want? And he shrugs, of course. So she just chose a random box and poured them both a bowl. Soon came the milk in there. Breakfast? For a poor person. Izuku takes the spoon and takes a mouthful of it, and chews it for the moment. Her did the same thing. only for both to realize that it was indeed expired. Jairu spits it out right away, but Izuku just swallowed it. Bro. You haven't eaten since Epsilon, and your first food was expired cereal. Izuku, yeah. Jairu, okay, so we have some time, so we can pick something up on the way, and he nods as he just dumps the milk out then puts the rest in the trash. Jairu, alright then, let's go, and they walk out. Izuku, could we fly? And she was pondering the idea, but she doesn't know how much control he has with them, but hey, you only live once. Jairu, sure, and he smiles in excitement, like a child getting a new toy. Izuku then goes behind her and picks her up in a bridal way. She of course blushed, but it was short-lived when his wings started to flaps, and boom! They are in the air, as they fly over the city easily. Jairu, hoo! Feeling the wind in her hair and face, and Izuku also did the same thing. It was really exciting until, hey no, using your quirk, as a big dragon appears behind them. Jairu, oh, it's Ryukyu the pro hero. Izuku was confused. Jairu, Izuku go down, we need to land. Izuku, okay, and he soon straightened his wings so they glide down slowly, and they end up being near Yuda's entrance, and the hero lands and turns back into her human form. Ryukyu, you two should know quirks are not allowed to be used in public. Jairu, we're sorry Miss Ryukyu. It was my idea, it won't happen again. Izuku, why is it bad? Ryukyu, you're the kid from Epsilon. I know you just got back into society and all, but it's a law to not use your quirk in public, alright? And they nod. Izuku, I still don't understand, but I'll listen if Jairu is okay with it. Ryukyu, likewise kid, but when you become a pro hero, then you can do it alright? Smiling now. Izuku, okay ma'am. Ryukyu, ma'am, that's something you don't hear often from a kid, anyways you kids better get to class. So good luck, and she flies off. Jairu, sigh well at least it was fun for a bit. Izuku, yep, and they went to class, to only be greeted with the rest of them standing in a line staring at them. Jairu, Lita, you two have been caught using your quirk in public, it is not wise to do that you two. Now Izuku, I understand that you have been in captivity for most of your life, but you also need to learn how things run now, for it could have changed a lot. Please be more mindful and aware of your actions, for they could potentially get you both expelled from this school and furthermore. And Ochako just puts a tie in his mouth making shut up. Ochako, they get it Lita, smiling. Jairu, alright we get it, it's not like it was anything remotely bad, and she looks over to see Izuku in his wings again. He was ashamed of himself for causing this mess. Izuku, I'm sorry Jairu, looking down now. Jairu, no Izuku, I'm sorry for coming up with the idea in the first place. Izuku, but? Jairu, no I made you do it, and I thought it would be easier to get here quicker, but hey it happens. Mina, ooh close now are we? Jairu, shut up Mina. Izuku, of course we're close, she's standing right next to me, confused once more. Mina, he's too innocent. Bakugo, Deku, and he then trembles in fear as Bakugo stomps over to him, but Izuku goes in front of Jairu in case he would want to harm her. Izuku leave the stuttering, and he laughs of course. Bakugo, after all these years you're still the weak little Izuchi from childhood, no wonder you need Flatboard over here to protect you, and Jairus jacks point at him. Jairu, why don't you F off Bakugo? You're just jealous you don't have a powerful quirk like Izuku's. Bakugo again laughs, as if I would want a shitty quirk that caused him to go into a coma for years. Who knows how many people he killed with those wings, and he again struck another nerve. Izuku then looks down again. Now he was feeling guilt now. Could be possible? He didn't have any control when he was in his slumbering form. Could it be possible? Jairu, god damn it Bakugo, don't you say that. He had no control of what he quirk was going to be, so leave him alone you beach, while the others let the bystander effect take place, just standing there like a bunch of retards. Izuku goes to his seat and waits for a bit. Mineta, freak, as he passes by him. Momo just went straight for her seat, ignoring the problem for now. Lita, sigh I'm sorry Izuku, and he goes to his seat as well. Mina just glares at Bakugo, who was just smirking. Bakugo, yeah, who knows how many died before he was caught. Effer wouldn't even be in control of the SH. as it attacks anything that comes across the freak. He was locked up for a reason, as he is a complete danger to the world. Why do you think he was monitored, and then it caught some of their attention? Well, the feeble-minded ones. Izuku then just wanted to leave now, but he can't, not without Jiraiya. Aizawa, alright, all of you shut up, as he walks into the classroom. And of course they have the trip to the forest today. Aizawa, all of you choose a partner, because it's going to be a long drive. And of course everyone already had a plan set in place. Momo, Jiraiya want to be my partner? Asking her. Izuku was just waiting for her to say yes or some answer related to it. Drew, sorry Emo. I'm already going to be Izuku's partner. Momo, oh that's okay I guess. Maybe next time, internally crying on the inside as Mineta was looking at her with even more lust, but Todoroki asked her and she was relieved for now. Drew, come on Aizu, and he just waits there. Jiraiya, sigh look I know what Bakugo said is getting into your head, obviously, but you shouldn't let that get to you. It's hollow words, they mean nothing to you and me. We both know you're going to be a great hero. Especially since you managed to get a grip on your quirk, so come on, grabbing his hand and he holds it tight. Izuku, thank you, and he starts crying now, Drew just wipes them away. Jiraiya, hey it's normal to cry dude, it means you actually care about this, and they went out to the bus. Izuku's wings, although large, somehow he managed to have them fold into each other, creating a space to get in. Of course they take the back seat. He sits next to the window. Aizawa, alright let's get a move on, and he starts it up, and it soon drives off. Izuku and Jiraiya feel asleep, as he had his wings cover both of them, Jiraiya especially. Mina took out her phone. Oh this is so adorable. She doesn't think he's dangerous. Like everyone, no one could foresee their own quirk. Lita, he seems to calm down for now, but this also tells me they have not received the proper resting hours. Todoroki just grunts, he doesn't care. Bakugo, Deku, you freak, of course his reasons for his shitty attitude, it is because he's simply afraid of him, since Epsilon, he saw the power he had when he was in that form, yes it's uncontrollable and yes he has his limits. But it doesn't make it any better that he could grow in power by just sound. But for now, he will keep training to prove this freak wrong, and show that no matter what, he will be the greatest hero this world has ever seen. Momo, it's strange seeing them both sleeping. Of course she was concerned for her friend, mainly knowing the fact that his feathers are deadly in close contact. What's worst is that his feathers have something in it. Aizawa, now I know you all are worried for Jiraiya and what her condition is, but she is unharmed by the wings and the feathers coming into contact with her body. She is safe from this, but for all of you I would advise staying away, for not only does the feathers harm, they also contain a neurotoxin that will numb your nerves, causing you to scream more, and prevent shock, so he could harvest the sound to grow the wings. Flashbackins. Momo, the chemical doesn't even affect Jiraiya, so how is he able to let her through, without harming her? She needs to. Do make another observation again. Ochako, wow he really is an angel, right? Talking to Lita. Lita, I have no clue in what we're dealing with Uraraka, his quirk is indeed an oddity for the fact, so I hope in time we will all be safe from his wings, but for now he needs space to get used to the new world he is now. Ochako, makes sense, but he's pretty gentle, trying not to harm her in any way possible. I think it's nice in a way, but if it was me, well I would be freaking out. Lita, and I'm sure he chose Jiraiya for that specific reason, and he stays quiet now. Later that day. Aizawa, alright we're here, stopping the bus, and of course Izuku wakes up and taps Jiraiya's ears, making her wake up. Jiraiya, 5 more minutes. Izuku, we're here, and he slowly opens her eyes, seeing that they made it, on top of a cliffside, seeing the trees. Great, and they got out. And they of course see 4 figures standing in a formation. Ochako, gasp. It's the wild pussycats. Fangirling out. Izuku, cats. Jiraiya, it's a name, you know hero names. Izuku, right? And they soon explained what they're going to do, given an assignment to get to a checkpoint, and to make it before dark, and once it was established. Pixie Bob, good luck. And soon all of them fell over the cliff in a wave of dirt hitting them, but Izuku grabs Jiraiya and jumps up, so they would float down. Mandalay, wow, is that the kid? Izawa, the one and only, sipping his coffee. Pixie Bob, Epsilon is meant for caring for dangerous quirks like his. Is it safe for him to be out there? Izawa, yeah, he has Gyru so he's fine. Mandalay, well that's good. Hopefully he can do some good. Izuku and Gyru walked into the forest. He was sightseeing the area. From the birds, the deers, and the occasional bee, they see that it's going to be a while until they reach the campsite. Gyru, well I don't want to cheat, so let's just walk this, and he nods. Izuku then had his wings down so they could relax. They kept walking in the woods, to only come across. Gyru, oh is he? Seeing the huge rock monster in front of them, they both got into a fighting stance, ready to attack the thing as it tries to hammer strike on them. Izuku then used his wings to spin around and kick it away. His wings then cut through the rock like nothing, and he spins and front flips making his wings move rapidly. Then he flaps them blowing away the rubble, and another came up but Gyru used her jacks on it. Released her sound and it detoys the F. Gyru, phew, well we need to be cautious now. Izuku, normal? No. It's part of Pixie Bob's quirk. Izuku, but I thought heroes are the good guys. Gyru, well this eye training. They do this to help us increase our prowess in battle when we become heroes. Izuku, okay then. Gyru, alright we still have a long way to the beacon, so let's get this over with shall we? And he nods and they walk into the forest together. Once the bus stops. As both Izuku and Gyru travel through the forest, Izuku was slowly glowing. He gives this very nice aura, the bright and warm light. Gyru couldn't even describe it at all. Gyru, you know you're an angel, a very powerful one. Izuku nods. Gyru, so you might have some power to do some cool things. I know your wings alone are dangerous, but could you summon or control light? Soon Izuku forms a little ball of light, glowing a warm white, and it flies off into the sky, and it brightens, as sound gives a chiming sound, and it disappears. Izuku, sound is good for me, helps me heal. Gyru, I see now, so any type of sound can heal you, unless it's an instrument, then it's a faster process. The drawbacks are still a complex thing. I know when you use your quirk it can drain you, but is there anything else? Izuku, sound is needed to help replenish my energy, otherwise I might end up going into another slumber again. Gyru, I see, well, I hope it doesn't come to that then. You need to become a hero now. I believe you'll do a lot of good here. Izuku, thank you. Gyru, no problem. Smiling, while they didn't even notice they were holding each other's hand, walking through the radiant forest together. Of course the rock monsters that come by are just destroyed effortlessly by Izuku by just moving his hands, as the light engulfs it and makes it crumble. Izuku could only just be in complete awe of his powers. Seeing his wings once more, she noticed another one sprouted from his back, making it 7 now. Gyru, you know, this is the nicest thing I have ever been in now. Izuku was looking at her. Gyru, well because before all of this, before you, it wasn't the nicest thing in the world. Of course you've seen both Mineta and Kaminari, and the comments, where they even rated the girls on how hot, or CC, they are. Of course Imo got first, then it was Mina and Ochako, Tsuyu, Toru. That was it. Apparently Kaminari asked about me. At first I thought he had something to say, but it ended up being, well, ridiculing, saying I'm too flat-chested, not meeting standards, no shape or curves, short hair, and of all the things, to boyish like even asking if he was alright. I know it's just words, but on days like those, they hurt more than actual wounds. Soon a lone tear starts rolling down her cheek knowing how painful those words are. Gyru, and they also go all the way back when I was barely in middle school. How they would just say they look nice, appealing, perfect, and of course they look at me and call me a defect, flat-chested, a boardwalk. Once time a boy asked me out, because he wanted to bring me over to the school dance, and it was a lie. He embarrassed me saying that I would have no chance of finding love or anyone who could find my disgusting body attractive. Stopping now, Izuku wraps his wings around her, pulling her into a hug. Of course she was embarrassed and ashamed telling him this when he has his own problems. Izuku then lights up, the light dancing around them both, as it's going through Gyru. She feels the pain, being soothed. She was crying even more now, letting out all of her negative emotions. See, It fades away and he breaks the hug, to which felt cold now without his embrace. Jiraiya, wow, you really have a healing power, it's great. Izuku, yeah, I just hated seeing you cry, wiping away her last tear. Jiraiya holds hand there. Jiraiya, you really are something the others won't understand. It's amazing. Izuku, and they continue on, seeing that they are only about a couple 100 meters away from the campsite. Izuku lets go off her hand. Jiraiya, so that's how it's like to rely on someone? It's nice, and Izuku smiles. Izuku, it's nice to find someone like you. Jiraiya, Singh goes to you looking away. Izuku nods. Soon they make it to the campsite where some of the others are there. Mina, hey lovebirds, you made it. Jiraiya, just in time, and Mina noticed Jiraiya had some tear marks on her face and her eyes were red. Mina, oh no, what happened? Looking at her with concern, Momo also rushed in to see it as well. Jiraiya, it's nothing. Momo, it isn't nothing. If you were not showing signs that you were crying, now tell us what happened. Was it Izuku? And Izuku perked up hearing his name. Jiraiya, no, it's not that. Just, we had some talking here and there, and I may have told him something personal, that's all. Mina, oh, okay then. Well, I'm glad he was there to listen, giving him a thumbs up. Kirishima, bro, you looked pretty manly coming in like that. You sure you can't control your wings? Izuku nods, but he himself doesn't know if it's possible. Izuku, thank you, Kirishima, he said his name. Kirishima, no problem man. Listen, I know you and Bakugo aren't on the best of terms, but it doesn't mean we cannot be friends. Just talk to me anytime, alright? And he nods, glad he's able to talk to someone else now. Kaminari, hey Jiraiya, how goes it with the freak? Jiraiya just jabs him with her jacks. Jiraiya, shut it idiot, he's getting used to it more now. Lita, alright then, this is so far going well. The others seem very out of it for now, seeing the others on the ground collapsing from exhaustion. Mineta, makes sense. Jiraiya wants his attention. With a body like that, only an angelic being would love, and Izuku heard it, and soon. He gets up, fixated on him now. Jiraiya of course heard what the grape effer said, and was afraid of what he'll do. Izuku then started to glow with multiple wings emerging from his back. Then in a flash, grabs Mineta and flies really high into the air at a speed unimaginable. Jiraiya, Izuku, screaming out to him, and the others also were shocked. Mina, soon they see Izuku come straight back down, and suddenly stops. They freeze staring at him as his wings, well about 16 of them were there, glowed along with his eyes. He lets go of Mineta, who is pale, and obviously in shock, and soon the light dies down and he goes right back to Jiraiya and sits down, cocooning himself back into his wings, where it grows again. Mina, what? Momo, just. Lita, happened? Mineta, he is, I swear. Sorry, and he just whimpers. Kaminari, it's alright dude, it's alright. Kirishima, whoa. Izuku then unfolds his wings, and he has 6 wings again. Izuku, she goes up to him. He was tired and he leans on her. Mina, well, I'm not mad, but I approve. Jiraiya, sigh asterisk. Lita, Izuku, are you alright? Going up to him. Izuku nods. Lita, you are not supposed to that to a fellow student. Now I know that the reasons are justifiable, but you should instead report this to a teacher or hero about the incident. Please try to take this into consideration. And Izuku nods. Todoroki, on the other hand. Todoroki, I wonder if freezing or burning his wings is effective. I'm going to prove that I'm the strongest no matter what, to become #1 for my father. Aizawa, well then it seems I won the bet, as the wild pussycats give him money. Mandalay, I hate you. Aizawa, I know. Now then, since that was horrible time, you will all work extra hard tomorrow, so be prepared. Show them the log houses they'll be staying in, and they followed the other heroes to the housings. Of course there is segregation with the boys and girls. Izuku, he was worried now, knowing that Jiraiya has to stay at another place while he has to stay with the boys. Kirishima, it's alright man, let's go in, and he nods, following him in. Bakugo, and he turns around. Bakugo, if you think I'm going to sleep in the same room as you, then you better forget it. Stomping away. Kirishima, I don't pay attention to him. Bakubro may be rough around the edges, but I'm sure he'll warm up to you, which of course is a very huge lie. Izuku knew him when he was small, and it was not pleasant at all. Meanwhile, Jiraiya, I hope he'll do fine. Mina, you're not his mother or caretaker. I'm sure it's going great there. Besides, he needs to hang out with the guys so he can get used to them. Momo, but we don't blame you for being worried. Jiraiya, I know, but you guys don't understand. He has a very special quirk. It even has some healing capabilities. Tsuyu, his quirk keeps getting more and more interesting each time. Ochako, by the way, I'm curious, how does his wings feel? Jiraiya, asking her. Momo, Uraraka, I know it's nice and all for Jiraiya to be unharmed from Izuku's wings, but you can't just ask questions. Jiraiya, soft, really soft, it makes silk feel rough compared to them. And some of them have a hard time trying to decipher that feeling, but couldn't. Mina, Bia, now I want to feel them. Tsuyu, very interesting. If it's softer than silk. Momo, but he still needs to control it, otherwise he's a walking danger. Look at what he did to Mineta today. If he did that to the others, who knows what could have happened. Jiraiya, he heard what the Effer said about me. You know what he said? Ochako, yeah, he kinda asked for it honestly. Jiraiya, well, that's what happens then. Toru, but still you need to relax, he's been nothing but a puppy, and he can be annoying. Mina, I mean he is cute and all, he does need to hang out with others, you can't always be there for him. Momo, it is a good thing for him, and yes, Jiraiya here can still be with him. And at the boys' dorm. Kirishima, hey guys, who wants to do Halo multiplayer? And some of them are down for that, while Lita was trying to tell them that going to bed early will help them be more energized for whatever Aizawa has for them, but only a few cared. Todoroki, Izuku, looking at the boy sitting in the corner of the room, he was very afraid of them. Izuku, Todoroki, you're wanting Jiraiya, and he nods. Todoroki, well, SEK it up. She won't always be there with you, so you need to get tough, and he looks down. Todoroki, people call you a freak for some reason, it's just wings, well except for Epsilon, whatever. You're fine, and he walks away. And they started playing game. Izuku slowly walks towards them, but he still was shy and timid to this, seeing the game up close now. Mineta, out of here freak. Kirishima, hey come on guys, that's not manly. Sit down Izubro, you can watch if you want. Bakugo, as if I want to be in the same room as Deku, what a joke, and he soon went towards the door. Zero, what? Confused from the game. Satu, ah man, getting killed again. Izuku just walked outside, wandering around the area for a moment, and he sees the girls' loghouse. He can hear what they're saying, but he leaves it no mind. Mina, you know he's going to be leeching of you, and he stops for a moment. Tsuyu, I know this is pretty blunt, but you need to tell him to stop. He won't be able to grow a pair the longer you coddle him. Izuku, coddle? Leech? Why are they saying mean things? He wonders. Ochako, yeah, but he also shies away like a timid cat, but he tries his best despite having a plain face and look. Momo, it's not tolerable to have him run around while everyone is afraid of him. His wings are a danger, his quirk is a danger. That's why he was an Epsilon. Toru, I know, it's like he's a toddler, always wanting someone to hold his hand through the way. Mina, maybe he can summon a flock of seagulls. Some of them giggled. Izuku just stood there. Suddenly he remembered something from his past, his childhood, how he was treated by being quirkless, how hellish it was, the cuts, burns, scars that covered his whole body, and the words, they hurt more than the beatings themselves, and this is all the more painful for him to hear. Even if he wasn't meant to be there, is Jiraiya part of it? Is she like them? Is she just putting up a false show to show pity or envy him? He doesn't know anymore. The same goes with the guys as well. Bakugo was the same if not crueler than ever. Mineta may have been put in his place, but he still gives out comments. They are afraid of the unknown, and he is that unknown. Izuku, even with a quirk, I'm still a useless Deku, and he walks away into the forest. Jiraiya, although was pretending to be asleep, heard what they said about him. She couldn't believe it as well. Of course she expected some form of gossip about the boys or about other girls, but she wasn't expecting a full-blown bullying session about Izuku. It's enough that he has a hard time controlling his quirk, and it's another for him to be with his old childhood bully again. HT is getting out of hand here. When this is over she will have to confront them about this, and Izuku will have to get stronger to prove them wrong. The next day, everyone slowly woke up, feeling the sun shining down on both log houses telling them, hey, it's daytime. Lita was the first to wake up and he of course ringed a bell he brought with him to wake everyone else up, and the obvious response was being pissed off. Soon came the girl's side. Momo had blasted heavy metal music from a jukebox as she took one of Jiraiya's CD albums and puts it in. They all had gotten ready for the day and prepared for the worst to come. Soon they all got outside to see their teacher there. Aizawa, now I know a lot of you had a standard time getting to the beacon. For those who took 8 hours to get to a campsite, you need to be trained more. You know who you are, this is going to be your personal hell. For all of you, and they could only shiver at the thought. Aizawa looked at all of them, but noticed one was missing. Aizawa, where is Izuku? He said to them, and they looked around their group, even turning to Jiraiya to see that he was not there. Momo, we don't know, sir. Soon Aizawa's eye twitched. Aizawa, you mean to say that the supposed Class 1A has lost track of a student who is diagnosed to have a very dangerous quirk? Congrats, you all failed the first test. Everyone, Aizawa, you all have already been briefed that once you become a pro hero you will in time find a person or child who has no control of their quirk, and you would need to monitor him or her in case they don't harm anyone or themselves in the matter. Izuku is that very example of keeping track of where he goes. I know you all had your comments and some dislikes about him, but it's part of the job. If you don't like it or rather not deal with it, then you can leave. For this sort of behavior will not be allowed in my class. And they were still stunned from this fact. Jiraiya, where's Izuku? Aizawa, come on, and they followed him. As they see they are still ashamed of themselves of failing the simplest test possible. Soon they are led to the place where they are going to train. He points behind him and they look to see Izuku training his quirk, utilizing his wings and feathers firing out of his wings hitting to rocks cutting them. Soon he sprouts more wings and flies up to create a beam of light to fire down at the surrounding area, burning or destroying it leaving it tattered. He comes down again to practice his close combat abilities, and he looked very tired, like he was doing this all night. Aizawa, I don't know what happened for him to react this way, but it seems you all had something to do with it. He is no longer assigned to be watched now, he will have his own room. Momo, and where is that? Mandalay, he's sleeping with us. Of course he gets the nice bed, he's deserve it. Mineta was crying once more hearing this, knowing he gets to sleep with the hot babes. Kaminari, bro, we just asked for it. Aizawa, alright, enough bickering, you all know the drill now, but it's going to be different. Each and every one of you must go past the limit of your drawback. I don't care how much pain, suffering, or even if you are at the brink of exhaustion, you will not stop until I say so. Am I clear? And there was silence. Aizawa, I said, am I clear? And everyone, yes, sensei. A yelling Aizawa is terrifying. Soon Jiraiya goes up to Izuku. Jiraiya, hey Aizu, you alright? She smiles at him, but it felt off with the way he's staring at her. Izuku, I'm okay. Thank you for your concern, and he flies off. Jiraiya, what the? Aizawa, Jiraiya, I know you are worried for Izuku for he was your responsibility but not anymore. Get to your training now, and she obliged. She's not watching him anymore? Soon came the worst and horrible day of the class's life. As they had to go beyond their limits, how much effort they put in always need to be 100% or plus ultra, as All Might would put it. Mineta, although was bleeding, kept pulling out his hair to sum it up, and Izuku, well, he would sprout more wings every attack. To get beyond the limit of how much power he can release, he would resist rest, tiredness, pain, and the signals his body is giving. And he's been doing this since that night nonstop. Of course Aizawa wasn't mad at him particularly, but Izuku felt bad when he heard the students have to train much harder than he is right now. So now he has a new goal in set, to be able to hold himself in these times. He cannot rely on someone, it will be a life on the line. He will not drag others to their deaths. Soon he uses his new move. He calls it Cherubim's Charge, and what he would do is sprout more wings around him, become a ball of light and at a fast motion move while the wings behind him and he twirls. So far it's proven difficult to do, as it would take up a lot of energy and could potentially put him into another deep slumber again, and Jiraiya, he doesn't want to burden her anymore, Even if it was a couple of days they had met, he was willing to do this for the good of others. Izuku, okay, come on Aizu, you can do this, he mumbled to himself, as the wings again glow, and he then unfolds more wings, the most he has ever did. About 50 came out this time and they spread out and reached out into lengths that pass 3 meters, and he spreads them, making this giant formation as he gathers and absorbs the sound, restoring his energy slowly. As Jairu focused on improving her Jack's durability and hearing. But she still couldn't concentrate as she was thinking about Izuku, why she failed watching him. Though confused, she still will try to help him open up, maybe even a date. Jairu, she just realized, a date? Does he even know what a date is? He didn't even know what a hug is. A hug? But that came to an end when she hears another explosion. Jairu, great. And she heads towards the sound, running past Kaminari and his derp face. Jairu, not right now, Jo. You can't laugh right now, despite how hilarious it looks, and she kept running towards the source, to see Izuku with an insane amount of wings, with Bakugo angry and red, oh boy. As Jairu kept running to the explosion, she sees Izuku fighting Bakugo and they are at a standpoint, but he seems to be protecting someone, as Bakugo lets out another explosion, and Izuku uses his wings to cover something. Jairu, Izuku. Bakugo, and he stops. Jairu, the F do you think you're doing? She stomps towards him. Bakugo, the F'er has a kid in his wings, he yelled out. Jairu, Aizu, is this true? And he nods and soon his wings undo, and the small child, a boy, with a horned hat with a panicked look comes out of it. Jairu, hey kid, are you alright? Izuku, he kicked Bakugo. Bakugo, little shite F kicked me in the goddamn ball. Because you act more like a villain than a hero, he yelled out. Bakugo, the F did you say to me, you little... And again Izuku flaps his wings to push him away. Jairu, Izuku stop, and soon he does. He just looks away. Jairu, you alright? Talking to the kid. I'm fine, he looks down. Kota, and soon Mandalay comes running towards them. Aizawa, okay, you have 1 minute explain, and they explained how Izuku was protecting Kota from Bakugo's quirk. Of course Izuku said he provoked him on accident, saying something bad, but even he sees that he's trying to protect him. Kota was fine, and he wasn't hurt from Izuku's wings. In fact, he's in awe of his quirk. Kota, are you an angel? He asked him. Izuku shakes his head. Bakugo, however, couldn't say anything. He was wrapped in a scarf that also covered his mouth. Mandalay, Kota, how are you okay? The wings are dangerous. Kota, no they aren't. I walked up to it, and touched it when he was training, it's really soft. Jairu was also intrigued. Aizawa, ***, as nice this moment is, we need to get him to you know where, and he drags Bakugo away. Izuku, I'm sorry, he said to you, his head hanging down and his wings also dimmered. Jairu, for what? Izuku, you're supposed to watch me, I never wanted that on you, I'm just a burden to everyone, I just want to be back in Epsilon, away from everyone, so I won't be a problem to them. Izuku, but he was about to fly away. Jairu, wait. And she jumps on, hanging on to his leg. They fly somewhere else as Izuku panics and he slowly descends. Izuku, why did you do that? He was worried for her. Jairu, you didn't let me talk. Look, I know it's hard for you, Epsilon and all, but you can't give up here. You can show them you're worthy and hell to the no that you're not a burden to me. I enjoy your company, plus, with what we discussed about during our first day, and you're not leeching off me, nor am I coddling you. I know you heard them, otherwise how would you just up and leave? Izuku nods, I'm just, plain, a danger, and a dog. Jairu, you're not any of that Izuku, you're okay, it's how you are, and I wouldn't wish for you to be born any different. She held his hand. Izuku looks at it for a moment and he smiles. Thank you, Jairu, and he goes up to hug her. Jairu, she's still not used to this sort of thing, but she likes it and she hugs back. Smiling. Izuku, it's okay, it's not your fault. Bro. Just go out on a date with me, she said. Izuku, sure. What the hell? He doesn't know what a hug is, but a date. Jairu, you are an enigma, deadpanning at him. Izuku, sorry. Jairu, Nah, it's cool. Soon they got up to head back to train. On a finer note now, Ru has struck up a date with him. Another thing is she never really went on a date before, specifically one that doesn't involve with ridiculing her. Izuku was smiling and hopping around cheerfully, a completely different demeanor from before, and they hear Mr. Aizawa making the other students do the whole training routine again. He said he wasn't impressed with their performance, but Jiraiya noticed they were the ones who, said some SHT about Izuku, so that was karma. Later that day, Jiraiya and Izuku are enjoying a conversation before, they head into the hot springs. Of course it's separated by gender and the girls and boys are eventful. Izuku, although despite being separated, felt a little at ease knowing Jiraiya is on the other side of the wooden wall, but he made sure Kota can be guarding a little as soon he touches the water. It felt relaxing. Of course he got in with his shorts on and the wings themselves just float atop the water. He sees the guys talking within each other. He kept to himself since he's not liked very much in the whole class, but he knows Kirishima can be trusted for a time being, and Lita as well. Mineta soon goes up to him. So freak? Why are you here in the springs with you? Aren't you supposed to be with your flat-chested boyfriend? He never learns. Lita. Mineta, you never learn, do you? Mineta. If he does something it only gives me a full view of the girls on the other side. Bet he wouldn't want me to glare at his friend. But wait, who would ever want to look at someone that is so boyish and has no redeeming quality? Izuku was silent. Kirishima. Bro, that's not manly. He doesn't deserve that kind of trash. Stop it, bro. Kaminari. Normally I would agree with freak part. But you're crossing a line, dude. Mineta. So what? I'm just speaking my opinion, can't blame me for that. Bakugo, would you just shut the F up? I'm trying to enjoy SHT and you're ruining it. Shiro then puts tape on his mouth. Izuku just doesn't say a word, because he knows Jiraiya can hear it because she was not talking at all as well. Ochako, hey Jo, what's going with the guys? That Mineta better not be planning anything. True, and nothing yet. Momo, anyways, so he can go in water. Surprising, of course I was worried the kid would have gotten injured. It was scary hearing about it. Tsuyu, he's trying his best, so can we not gossip about him, Karo? Toru, no way, this is a perfect time, since he can't hear us at all. Mina, Thunder, would taking his feathers be deadly in a pillow? Momo, what type of question is that? Mina, I don't know, just curious. Jiraiya, funny, monotone about it. Mina, oh lighten up Jiraiya, we're just talking some fun. Jiraiya, about a boy who didn't ask for this. Ochako, oh Jiraiya, I heard you're going on a date with him, is that true? And now this caught their attention. Mina, you're going to date him? Is this out of pity? Toru, it might be, since he really can't touch anyone without hurting them. Momo, girls. See, please, then of Karo. Ochako, Oh, maybe he can be like that meme. Those biblically accurate angels? Mina, ugh, the ones with the many wings and eyeballs looking like some nightmare fuel. Momo, yeah, I saw those pictures. Be not afraid, they say, for a reason. Tsuyu, but that's only what our mind can perceive. Otherwise, yes, they would appear human. Karo. Jiraiya, how did this conversation go to this? Ochako, don't know. Mina, so I wish you luck with a date. Hope you can find some joy out of it, Jiraiya. Jiraiya, F off Ashido, and she gets out, to which she shrugs. Mineta, overhearing in the other side, then finds his opportunity. Mineta, alright, he soon climbs it. Lita, Mineta, get down there right now, but he ignores it. All he could think about is the potential stuff he could witness, but that was cut short when Kota was standing there and he just poured oil on him, causing him to fall back down, and he walks away seeing Izuku wasn't there. Jiraiya, speech, good luck if gal of her to say that to me. He's not a freak. He's not a. She stopped as she sees Izuku alone, sitting by himself. He seems to be in awe of someone. He was smiling in awe as his wings slightly glow and seem to grow for the moment, and she hears it as well. Now the green blade rises from the buried grain, wheat that in dark earth many years has lain. Love lives again. That with the dead has been. Love is come again, like wheat that springs up green. She sees her, the class 1B girl, Shiozaki they called her. Yes, she is really religious. No wonder he is in awe with her, but for some reason she felt jealous. Izuku, In the grave they laid him. Shiozaki, love whom we had slain. She turns around to see Izuku and she stops for a moment. Izuku was clapping for her. Shiozaki wanted to kneel but she didn't. Shiozaki, an angel, a follower of God, she said out loud. Izuku, He gets down and Jiraiya also follows. Izuku, waving shyly. Shiozaki was in awe. Your wings, for, no 6, like the cherubims in the hymns of the Bible, you have came. Izuku, not a cherubim, he said. Shiozaki, oh but I simply must know who you are, holding his hand. Izuku, Izuku. Shiozaki, well Izuku I'm Shiozaki, and I want to know what your quirk is please, begging him with pleading eyes. Jiraiya, well he doesn't really have a name for it exactly. Shiozaki, please allow me to call it cherubim's wings, starstruck. Izuku, oh. Jiraiya, is there anything else? Shiozaki, you heard me sing? Please continue with me, and he nods happy. Izuku, sure. Shiozaki, now then, and soon. They both continue to sing. Jiraiya just sat there and watched. She had to admit. They both make a pretty good duet, but like always, it has to come to an end. Shiozaki, before you leave Izuku, could I touch your wings? She asked him. Izuku, He was confused. She reached over, and Shiozaki, as I thought, soft, like the clouds of heaven above. The Lord has truly created such a blessed creature, to watch over us and protect us as we are his children and we love him and he loves us in return. I pray for you Izuku, I pray for you. Izuku, thank you. Soon he pulls her into a hug. Shiozaki, oh dear. Izuku, you give hugs to people you care about, right? Asking her. Shiozaki, well, in a way, but she lets it slide, since this is a one-in-a-lifetime experience for her. Jiraiya, okay, come on dragging him away now he waves to her and she waves back. What an eventful day. Izuku and Jiraiya don't even head to the log house. No. They went to the teacher's area where he has his own room with Pixie Bob. Of course she sleeps on the bed, and she was bedridden, so he just walks normally for his wings absorb the sounds surrounding them. Jiraiya, that was nice today Izuku, I know it's not really. Good day, but hey, you got to make a new friend. Izuku nods happily. Jiraiya, come on, let's get some Z's. Soon Izuku goes on the floor and wraps himself. Jiraiya, his head pokes out. Jiraiya, I was wondering if it's okay to sleep together, in your wings, and he smiles, as she goes to him on the floor. The wings grew and more pop up and they wrap around her, so soft, so smooth, nothing like this should exist. Because the sheer softness made her immediately tired. Jiraiya, good night Izu. Izuku, good night, he whispered and they both fell asleep that night. Meanwhile, Hisashi, he's alive? Surprise. Yes, he is, but he doesn't want to come home. Inko, how come? Because he felt like he's failed the both of you. I know it sounds rather concerning, but trust me, he is in good hands. Until he is ready, I thought telling you two would be helpful instead of keeping you in the dark. Hisashi, for 8 years we have been looking for him for 8 whole years, only to now tell me he's been holed up in Epsilon for 8 years, fire coming out of his mouth. Inko, Hisashi, he's been kept hidden from Yuza. Jiraiya, yawning out loud, sitting up, she didn't even want to get out of bed. It literally was the best sleep she has ever gotten in ages. For her, Izuku's wings felt like sleeping in a cloud from heaven. But it had to come to an end. As Izuku wakes up his wings shrink back to their normal size. Izuku, morning. Morning, God that felt like heaven. Izuku nods. Well, can't keep the others waiting, and they get ready to head out. Once they exit the building, they see the students training again. For what? They don't know. Aizawa, good, you two are here, come, and they follow him. Jiraiya, what's going on? Aizawa, we're going through a drill, running into the forest and back. Tonight you have another activity, so once you're done with this rest up and be prepared, alright? And they nod. Aizawa, now Midoriya, I know you have little to no control of who your wings harm, so that's why I'm going to have you train under a pro hero I called in. Get over here, and soon they see Jiru, the number 3 pro hero Hawks, screaming. Izuku, Hawks. Well, now that's some nice wings you got there, kid, almost as impressive as mine. Izuku, ooh, excited. Hawk, alright then, let's go, kid, see what you got, and he follows. Aizawa, Jiru, head back to your class, you have a day off, so rest for tonight's lesson. Jiru, he's going to be fine, right? Aizawa, Hawk may seem cocky, but he's not stupid, he'll be fine, and she nods, heading back now. Jiru can't help but think about last night, with that Ibra chick, being up close to him, singing together. Yeah, she can sing, but not in a sense where chanting is involved. Maybe she could learn some on the internet. He could be happy that way as well, so she heads back to her cabin. Momo, oh Jiru, you were gone last night, what happened? Jiru, told to keep watch, I didn't mind, his wings felt like heaven. Mina, oh, you slept in his wings? That must be weird, sure he didn't do anything to you? Jiru, and here we go again, walking past her. Ochako, she's just concerned for you. Jiru, just back off him, God, and she heads to her room. Tsuyu, great job guys. Karo, sarcastic, and she goes upstairs. Toru, he's pretty dangerous, but maybe helping him with his quirk could benefit all of us, you know, to not get killed. Izuku, etchi, extending his wings and then flaps them, creating a gust. Hawk, nice, now try to retract them, and he puts his focus on it, only one so far, retracts. This is only the warm-up, soon he calms himself, trying to focus on it, since it's very difficult to make not one, but 6 wings move individually, like trying to flex a muscle that has never been used before, cough cough lats. Hawk, take it slow, don't stress yourself, unless you want to and be out of commission for a bit. Izuku, okay, and then he moves the top 2 in a rotation motion, and the other, in a counter motion, and the last set back to a regular motion. Hawk, learn quick, kid, remember to flex it around for a bit, to give it motion. Now I heard you can actually fire your feathers, right? Izuku, Hawk smirks, I want to see it, I put a mannequin there, launch some feathers there, show me what you got, kid, and he nods. Of course, firing the feathers may be easy to do, but all of it goes into aiming and precision being the tricky part of it. So with one wing in a quick motion flicks his wing and it soon launched out multiple feathers going in different directions, but that wasn't the bad part. It goes through the materials, it hits effortlessly, even creating a hole in the tree, and the head of the mannequin falls off. Hawk, asterisk whistle asterisk, now that's impressive. Maybe on the scattershot side, but if you can be more precise with it, it can be one hell of a move, and he nods, but then he pulls out a bell and shows it to him. Hawk, ice. The ear ringer, soon he chimes it and Izuku starts to glow, as his wings now grow. Hawk, so sound causes your power to grow. This quirk is complex indeed. Izuku then shows him the light he can create, seeing the small ball glowing. Hawk, so like an angel? Didn't expect it to be. Literal? Have any special moves to show me? And he nods and he has his wingtips touch a single point and he then releases a beam of light that was extremely fast. It's light. Soon he jumps up and grows more wings, and then turns into light as he spins. The next was using the wings for combat, covering his arms as he swings it around. Hawk, very good, kid. Now let's teach you some cool stuff now. Your quirk is very versatile and can be extremely dangerous if you make one mistake. Of course, the idea is you can control the amount of wings you can sprout. Can you use the light make anything? And he focuses, soon the light turns into a sword. Izuku then swings it, but it soon drains him as his glow is now faint. He stops. Hawks, so that takes a lot out of you. Maybe for brief moments you can use it. How fast can you construct it? And he tries to make it fast but ends up failing. He needs a lot of focus. Hawk, maybe you could do it around sound? The forest doesn't have much sound, so you could reserve energy. Or maybe carry a bell around, so he rings it again and he lights up, making the sword again, and he rings it once more, so it's maintaining its shape for a bit longer until it fades off. Izuku breathing even though the bell was helpful. It takes a ton of energy, so it starts to increase the longer it's out. Hawk, alright, that's very interesting. Well, at least we're seeing some drawbacks here. Of course, that's nothing compared to your feathers and the sound-absorbing properties. It's going to be easy to find some way to help you maintain your forms. And he nods, listening. Izuku, could it be possible that the city can help? Hawk, for a constant moment, since you said the bell or music increases the speed of recovering your energy, the city can play music as a way to keep your energy from draining. That could be helpful, but it's more effective if it's in person. This will be a bit tricky then. Again, and he goes again. Ibra, Kairi, listen. Praying out now. Ibra, what's going on? Looking to Kendo, who was curious, wondering why she's sitting out here in the forest, she smiles and looks ahead. Ibra, just enjoying myself, in the presence of God's child. She was confused on what she meant. Kendo, sorry to be rude, but what are you talking about? Ibra, I'm talking about our new arrival, meaning the new student in Class 1A. Kendo, oh, is he here somewhere? Wondering now. Ibra, up there, pointing up. Kendo, are you okay, Ibra? Worrying about her now. Ibra, Kendo. Kendo, Ibra, look up, and she does, to see nothing. Kendo, there's no one there. Ibra, wait for it, and she waits, until she sees a flash past her. Kendo, whoa, stumbling a little, soon another one passed by now. Ibra, the cherubim, an angel and follower of God, has been born into this world, to come protect us from a great evil, for thee is a child, and has to become this world's savior, for once the Antichrist comes, the world will see the burning star come down and rain and destroy the lands. Kendo, even though she wasn't religious, couldn't help but feel some dread in those words. Soon both Hawks and Izuku look at each other, and Kendo couldn't help but wanted to bow to him, or something like that. She has seen that Hawks has wings, but this guy, Izuku, has a different vibe to him, like something divine. Ibra, do not kneel to a child of God, for he too bows and prays to our Lord, he is our equal. Kendo, wow, seeing him now training, the light in his wings, the glowing eyes, soon he goes again with their spar, as more wings now form he blasts some light at him, pushing him back a little, but of course he immediately kicks him in the abdomen and then axe kicks him down, one of the wings barely touching his boot. Cuts it, soon Izuku comes down, but he expands his wings to soften his landing. Izuku, soon he cocoons himself in his wings, glowing again. Ibra, Fortuna, Hosanna Meus, Aeterna Deus, chanting causing him to glow brighter now. Kendo, music gives him power, soon he undoes his wings again and flies up now, back into the fray. Hawk, relying on your friends, makes a good effort to have a team, learn to combat when you're alone, and he nods, fighting once more as he soon uses the light to make a shield and then bashes him and then to a lance, and then butts him with the other end, grabbing with his wings now, throwing him, and the feathers of course, cut his legs and they hurt like hell. Izuku then floats down, breathing heavily from the amount of energy wasted. Soon he starts to collapse, but he was caught by Jairu. Jairu, thanks, and Ibra nods. Izuku lays on her lap now. Hawks, tell Aizawa he's done for the day. He see ya around, kid, before flying off now, and Izuku gives a thumbs up before he falls asleep. Jairu, well, that happened, seeing him sleeping in his little cocoon. Aizawa, well then, let's hope that was enough, now get your groups ready. We begin our next training, and she nods, but she goes up to him, his head was exposed, and she then plants a kiss on his forehead, smiling. She gets up and leaves now, but in the background. Mineta, how could she even like a guy like him? He's so weird. If only he walks off. Outside at night. Aizawa then explains why they're out there, since they are going to be trying to get headbands with their names on it, to show that they are not afraid of anything, to go forth regardless of the situation. Jairu was paired with Mineta and Momo, for whatever reason. Jairu, let's just hurry it up, and they wander in once 1B set up their traps. Mineta, while shaking in fear, decided to ask about it now. Mineta, so, why do you like that weirdo? Shut up. Momo, both of you enough. Mineta, it is not appropriate to talk about your classmate like that. Mineta, oh please don't act like you aren't afraid of him as well. He only lets Jairu and some others touch or talk to him, leaving out everyone, a power that could kill anyone and has no control over. Why do you like him? Momo, enough. Mineta. Jairus' eyes were shadowed by the darkness, only being lit up by the moonlight above. She pulls out the feather she has, gently brushing it again. Jairu, reasons you don't understand, pervert. Mineta, you saw how he did with Hawks today? I heard it was almost a disaster, him and that Christian girl. Despite how hot she is, she's delusional and he's toying with you both. Momo, Mineta, don't you dash, then he says it. Mineta, just because your body isn't great or even appealing to guys doesn't mean you should go for a freak like him. Momo stood there shocked. She waited for Jairu to attack him, but there was none. Jairu, hee. Of course that was the case. How is this any different than middle school? Despite trying to be a hero, I still get ridiculed for something I had no control over. Something that's completely decided for me that I couldn't refuse. You think I'm not aware about it. But I am, and he's the only one who has ever shown that he truly cares for people, that he cares about me, even you, Mo. You're afraid of him, the same way how he's with me, all of you, and yet you call yourselves heroes. How ironic is that? Soon she continues on her own. Momo, no. Jairu, but she was gone. Mineta, good riddance, he was then smacked away. Momo, you idiot. Losing her cool now, she started to hit him. Jairu was running fast into the forest. She wanted to be away from this, she just wanted to be enveloped in Izuku's wings. Away from the world just for even a moment. Is all she would want, but then, things would have to change for the worse, as a blue light is seen in the sky, the temperature suddenly rising around her, causing her to sweat, but it was cold. How could it even change this quickly? That was soon to be answered, when she sees a man with scars all over his body, with another man who looks like a lizard standing in front of her. Well, look at this. Seems a dove is lost. Might as well get the sacrifice ready. Soon blue flames started to head towards her. She jumps out of the way, and then sees. They're villains? How did they even find them? How are they here? She hears screaming in the background. The League of Villains have come. As if the blue flames setting the forest on fire wasn't a red flag, then the villain Muscular tells them the League is here, as the wild pussycats try and detain him, but they were also begin attacked by other villains there as well. Aizawa, get help, I'll try to stall them. Mandalay, where's he at? Trying to look for Koda, but he was nowhere to be seen. Jaira runs as fast as she could trying to find Momo and the Grapist, but it was in vain so far. Soon she bumps into a small figure. Jairu, sorry man. Soon she sees it's Koda. Jairu, Koda? What are you doing here? Koda, I'm running from her. She looks to see a girl in school uniform, teeth similar to a cat. Hi, I'm Toga, I want to be friends. Lend me your BLD. Pulling out a knife now. Jairu, just from one crazy beach to another, soon she starts charging in now but she dodges her attacks. Koda was scared now. Jairu, Izuku! She screams out, hoping it would help. Izuku soon feels something's wrong, something's not right at all. He can feel danger, and an high threat. He wakes up, his wings now expanding. Soon he jumps out of bed, no shirt, but he doesn't care at the moment, jumping out of the window and takes flight. Gaining height, he sees the blue flames and parts of the forest on fire. He soon flies towards the clouds. Now he can feel more wings sprouting out now. Izuku, cherubim's roll. And then he turns into light to spin his wings, creating a massive wind gust in the clouds, causing parts of the area to start raining, dozing some of the flames. Dabi, the hell? Seeing the sudden rain. Spinner, there's no forecast of rain today. Dabi, there isn't. Looking at the ball of light in the sky, soon starting to spin still. Towards them. Dabi, move! Grabbing him and jumps out of the way, seeing the figure stop. Dabi, great! Seeing the cluster of wings in the way. Soon it retracts and Izuku was seen now. Izuku, leave, he says. Spinner, what quirk is that? Dabi, another burnt chicken, letting out blue flames again, but Izuku just lets it hit his wings. Soon they started to burn, but it wasn't causing pain. Instead, it made his wings grow and glow more. Spinner, what the hell? Seeing it grow instead of burning. Dabi, this is trouble. Izuku, leave. Soon he covers both his arms and his wings, and soon he gives them a warning by firing some feathers that cut through the tree like nothing. Soon they both had to retreat. Spinner, we're doing what he says? Dabi, unless you have a better way to counter his quirk then yes, running still, and soon a windstorm makes them stumble. Soon feathers are seen flying around. Dobby, get away from it. Soon a couple of them hit Spinner's leg and arm and he screams. Spinners, son of a beach, seeing the very thin cuts. Dobby soon burns them while dragging him. Soon the wind stops. Izuku then lets them leave. He tries to find Jiru now hearing out. He can hear screaming. Izuku! Izuku, Jiru! He soon rushes that way. Jiru, falling back again, as Toga jumps on top of her. Toga, you're so cute, such a nice facial structure. The chest is nice, a little closer to your face. The BLDU? I want to be you so badly, bringing the knife closer to her cheek as she glides it across. Wincing in pain, Koda was tied up trying to scream but couldn't. Jiru, get off! But her jacks were also pinned down. Toga, now let's see what you offer, and soon she leans in and bites her neck, breaking the skin, and she licks it off, feeling very violated. Jiru wanted it to stop. Toga, more! I want more! Soon she was about to bring it down until her hand made contact with a wing as it wraps around her. Toga, screaming in pain now seeing Bill come out, soon she was thrown off into a tree. Izuku, Jiru, he goes up to her. She was shocked to see him now. Jiru, thanking God, and she hugs him. Jiru, Kota, but he was already out of his bindings. Kota, that was cool, seeing Izuku throw her like a Gmod ragdoll. Jiru, come on Kota, but she felt Izuku's hand grab her, twisting her around, and he looks at her cheek and it was bleeding. Izuku started to panic. Jiru, it's alright. Just a cut, but he instead puts his hand over her cut. Soon the light comes back and she closes her left eye. Soon he stops, and she sees it's now healed. Jiru, wow. Soon they hear the bush rustling again as Toga comes out growling. Toga, how dare you? I wanted to be friends with her. I want to see your cute face bleed. Licking her knife now. Soon she starts to melt. Izuku, Jiru was shocked to now. Toga, can you hurt me when I'm like this? Looking like Jiru now. Jiru, goddammit. Izuku then abandoned the shy expressions. She sees a focused state, his serious glare and complete change of behavior. His wings now started to cover his arms, and then the last four expand as if to protect those two now. Jiru, please don't kill her, and he nods. Toga then charges forward using Jiru's quirk to try and create shockwaves, but then again, it was literally the worst thing she has ever done, as Jiru's quirk acts as an amplifier for Izuku's quirk that feeds off noise. Soon he glows more and he fires feathers as it hits her leg. Toga, yeh. Soon she then starts whipping the jacks at him, and then the wings flap and push her back. Izuku jumps up to grab onto her and then cover her in the wings, becoming a ball of light. Kota, she's dead. Jiru, yep, seeing her screaming again. Izuku's light then starts to fade and he's holding her gently now. Unconscious, setting her down carefully. Izuku, rest, seeing tears coming out of her eyes. Jiru, what did you do? Izuku smiles, relieved her pain. Kota, wow, if he could do this with all villains, then no heroes are needed anymore. Soon another noise is heard, and Izuku was punched out of the way. Jiru, no, but she was punched as well. Muscular, how annoying, as if a wannabe Bible Beach is enough to deal with. Izuku gets up, the broken jaw he has groaning in pain, trying to heal it. Soon Muscular grabs him again and slams him against the tree. Izuku, screaming more. Muscular, just because you took her down doesn't mean you're worth it. Stomping on him again. Izuku, he continued to stomp more, as he laughs hearing his screams. Muscular, come on Beach, fight back. Haha. Soon he felt a poke in his head as Jiru tried to get him off. Soon he stops. Muscular, please, what can your AUX core do? My phone needs one. You don't mind if I rip it off you? Soon he grabs her, choking her now, gagging for air, trying to punch his hands, badly that her jacks were acting frantically. Izuku sees it, as she was turning red, her eyes tearing up, begging for air. Soon, she was losing strength. Izuku, no, he tried to move, but she lets go, beginning to go limp, looking at Izuku begging for help. But, in her last moments, she smiles at him, which confused Muscular. Izuku growls now, his wings now growing, but this time, 16 more sprouted. Muscular drops her now. What a waste, Soon he turns to see Izuku with multiple wings, rage. Muscular. Finally, now let's see what you got. Izuku, H-sharish. Soon his wings on their own started to surround him and fired out feathers as they would cut through his muscles. Muscular. Now this is what I'm talking about. Cackling now. Soon Izuku charges forward and then blasts a full force of energy at him, knocking him off the cliff. He goes after him as Koda now goes to Jiru. Koda, Nana no, seeing her eyes barely open, but he tries to do CPR. Izuku, you'll pay for this, crying out. Muscular, compassion is for fools, now attacking more now as he takes his fake eye out and grows more in muscle. Soon Izuku has his wings overlap one another and then fires more feathers as the wind he creates fly around him, doing damage. Izuku then folds in his wings to a single point for a ball of light to form and soon fires out a beam of energy at him, destroying a good amount of muscle, but it grew back. Muscular, it's futile, fight and lose, you're dead anyway, haha. Punching him again, but the wing flies forward and then grabs his arms and it starts cutting into the muscles once more. Pulling back, he pulls out a bell. One of the wings grab it and it rings. Soon his wings glowed brighter. Izuku, cherubims him, soon he grew more wings, almost amounting to 34 now, some even floating, and then he turns into a ball of light. The wings are what makes up the shape and form. Soon the wings then swing around and then fires feathers and more of it will try to envelope him. Muscular, what? The F? Now seeing the strength of this quirk, he tried to fight, doing war cries, but it feeds off the sound and then keeps growing and growing. The wings now circle around him and lift him up, spinning the ones in between, ripping off his out muscles, exposing his face. Soon the wings now was all he could see, and for the first time in his life, spread fear to all who see him, now terrified of this thing. Izuku, may judgment pass to you. Soon it then unleashes a large amount of energy. The scream that echoes throughout the forest, silenced as the sounds, kept it from being heard. Izuku stumbles and tries to limp back up the cliff, his wings bloodied, and was worn out. He sees Jirai's body, and he goes up to her. Koda was crying, please, please, don't die, don't die. Izuku then moves him. Koda, I don't want her to die, and he picks her up, and leans her against his chest, covering himself in his wings. See, it started to glow and Koda was waiting for it to stop, in hopes of it being a dream. Soon the light fades off now. Izuku, sniff hugging her tightly as she now coughs, gasping for air, as she wheezes. Jiru, holy asijtigu, gasping out. Izuku cries more, clinging on to her. Jiru, you saved me, he continues to hug her. She hugs him back. Jiru, thank you, grateful. Koda, a true hero, now happy. Mandalay, Koda, he sees her aunt, seeing how he treated her, for something she didn't have control over, he cries. Koda, hi, running to her, hugging her now. Mandalay, oh thank God you're safe. Koda, I'm sorry. Mandalay, huh. Koda, I'm sorry for treating you badly, Mom and Dad, it was because I was mad at him, not you, I'm sorry. Mandalay, oh Koda, I was never blaming you for anything. I understood what you went through. It's all right. Again, an angel, whose presence alone can have the pain go and pass, to feel the weight off them, to feel joy again. Jiru soon wakes up. She was in the medical bay, in a hospital bed, with an oxygen mask on. Guess she had trouble breathing more than she liked. She was about to get up until she realized her hand was gripped by Izuku, who was sleeping. He wasn't even cocoon in his wings. She can tell he's been in this position for a long time. Since there's a red mark on his cheek now, she smiles and squeezes his hand. Soon he wakes up looking at her. He looks like he's been crying hard. Izuku, soon it comes back as the river now forming under her bed isn't a sign. He's more than happy to see her. Yo, and he smiles and hugs her arm now, laughing. His wings started to move a little. Jiru, hey, I'm fine again. Like a golden retriever, the energy he has can put the whole energy crisis to rest. Izuku, I'm so sorry I couldn't help you. When he... Jiru, hey, it's all right. I'm here now, I'm not going anywhere. Come here, and she brings him closer now, leaning against her chest. He feels soothed again, smiling more. She blushed seeing this. Jiru then looks to the left to see Toga the girl that attacked them, smiling at her. Jairu, flinching now. Toga, hey Izuku, why is she responding like that? Confused, talking normal? Izuku, she's a very nice person, and she smiles, almost seeming to share the same energy. Toga, I'm Himiko Toga, nice to meet you, waving. Jairu, Kyoka Jairu. Toga, you weren't kidding, she is cool looking. Izuku, soon the door opens. Aizawa, Jairu, good to see you're awake. I would advise you to keep that mask on, until we get Recovery Girl here. Jairu, I see. What happened to, referring to Toga? Aizawa, Toga here, had a change of heart. She doesn't remember what happened before. She used to have this bloodlust, being a drawback because of her quirk. But now that's not the case. Instead, it's just based on the amount of BLD ingested that it will wear off. Toga, yup. Aizawa, Izuka hasn't left your side. Even though the nurses tried to pry him away, he would just expand his wings and keep them away. Jairu, thank you, and Izuka nods. Aizawa, now as for the aftermath, Bakugo and Yaoyorozu have been taken, and was shocked now. Aizawa, we're doing everything we can to find them. Since Yaoyorozu left this at the scene, showing her a GPS with a beacon, smart. Jairu, so, when do we leave? Aizawa, you mean the pro heroes? All of you will stay here. I know this seems unfair since they are your classmates and friend, but had enough of our rep being tainted and your safety compromised. Jairu, seems stupid. Well, if that's the case, I guess we'll stay back. Aizawa, not guess, you will stay back. And then Toga raises her hand. Aizawa, yes. Toga, why is Yudata making so many bad decisions? And he facepalms at the blunt question. Aizawa, I have no clue, but you hit the nail on the head with that question. Keep it to yourself, and he goes out now. Izuka looks down, solemnly. Jairu, I know what you're thinking. You want to save them, and I get to an extent. But you're talking about the same two people who both hate you and the other distrust you. Izuka nods. Jairu, and yet you still want to save them, and he nods again. Jairu, could I ask why? Izuku, because it's the right thing to do. True. Then that's all I needed to hear then. Soon the door opens. Kirishima, if he's doing what he's going to do, you can count me in, giving a thumbs up. Really? Kirishima, hell yeah, we don't leave our classmates hanging. Count me in. This fiasco. Soon Todoroki also comes in. Todoroki, I'm in, no explanation. Kirishima, still monotone as ever, and he shrugs. Toga, hey, if anything I should help out, right? It's only right to protect my future classmates, and the two freaked out a bit. Jairu, don't worry guys, she's chill. Izuku, nodding. Kirishima, well let me say this, Nimskirki, glad to see you're with us now, and she shakes his hand. Toga, quite, mimicking a British accent. Todoroki, whatever, and she was raising her eyebrow. Toga, sounds like daddy issues? And he flinched a little again, hit a nail on the head there. Izuku, so, we're really doing this? Kirishima, yep, now for the wings. Oh, we'll think of something. Jairu, well I did say we're going on a date, could use that as an alibi. Kirishima, perfect, and they soon developed a plan to go and save their classmates. Izuku soon managed to get his makeshift shirt on. Make it bearable to at least cover himself, soon the others come out. As Jairu is still wearing the oxygen mask, she has a small tank attached to her belt loop. Kirishima and Todoroki come out with Toga in a hey outfit with shades on. Lita, where are you going? They stopped to see Lita standing there, with the rest of the class. Izuku stayed silent. Jairu, doing what's right. Lita, this is unacceptable behavior U5. You need to stay here, or I'll. Izuku, or what, now glaring at him, it kind of freaked him out a little. Mina, Jairu, you can't just go wherever he goes, you all are going to get in trouble or worse get very injured in this. Ochako, you too Shoto? And he nods. Mineta, why are you simping so much for this freak? He's leading you to your deaths. Kaminari, please stop this, you're badly injured enough as it is. Kirishima, how could you guys even say that about him? He's helped rescue not only Toga here, but defeated Muscular, and saved Jairu. And Koda. To you. Enough you guys, please have some reason, let the heroes do the work. You've done enough, he's a danger, soon the final string has come. Toru, all of you, cannot be with this guy, he's a danger, and he could get you all killed. Izuku soon starts crying, shut up. Mineta, look he's crying now. Ochako, enough, soon they all started to argue. Jairu, you have no right to tell us what to do. Lita, for the safety of your well-being he can go on his own for all I care. Toru, let the thing go ahead. Mineta, let him be someone else's burden. Izuku, stop whimpering out. Kirishima, he's been more of a hero than all of you. Kaminari, and he killed dozens as well. Ochako, please stop this, trying to defuse the situation. Toga was horrified on how they treat her friend. It's horrible. Tsuyu, he's going to be fine on his own, let him go alone. Izuku, I said, shut up. His voice echoing now which caused all of them to stop as he now looks down. His wings are now slightly glowing, soon they unwind and expand. Izuku, what have I done to deserve this kind of treatment from all of you? Why must I be labeled a leech, a dog, a freak, for something I never had control over, for something that took my childhood from me, something that ended up hurting others for my uncontrollable actions, saying I'm leading them to their deaths, saying I'm a danger? Tell me, in the whole forest attack, what have you done to show your heroic side? What I heard is you only protected yourselves, not bothering to help others in the situation. Letting the heroes do the work for you, letting me do the work. I saved not one, but 3 people from a monster I knew will never change his ways. But her, I saved her from herself, so she could repent and be forgiven for her actions. Jairu a second chance at life. Koda to accept and forgive, chasing the other villains away, controlling my powers, doing all I can to use it for the right reasons. To do what's right as a future hero in training now, I will save them, only because it's the right thing, orders or not. I will do that, to rid the heroes of their concerns as well, look down on me after this. But I do not have any malice against, only that I'm disappointed, that the hero school of UA has standards low enough for the likes of you people, to enter. Hate me if you want, I'm going, and he turns as he walks off now, leaving them speechless. Soon Juru and the others follow. Kirishima, like I said, he's cool, he's friendly, just because he's different. Doesn't mean we treat him different, he's like us. Maybe you should learn and take note of what he said, and he runs off with Ham now. Izuku's eyes continue to glow, his new goal to save them, forget the plan, he wants to go right for the head of the snake. Jairu, Izuku, and he still walks. Jairu, hey, are you alright? Grabbing his hand. Izuku, no. I'm just sad. Jairu, I know. Kirishima, hoping that your speech is enough to smack some sense into them. Todoroki, Toga, that was pretty cool. Seeing how he dominated the whole argument, soon Jairu looks at the picture of the GPS signal showing the coordinates. Izuku, looking at it. Jairu, yeah, it's not much, but it's what we have. Kirishima, we can't just do this without giving away our position. We need an awesome disguise. Jairu, hello, what are you going to do about his wings? Izuku tried to fold them in on itself, but again, he can only display 6 of them. Toga, we'll figure something out. Soon they were in the clothing store as they try to find a perfect way to hide their identity. Izuku, why do we need to hide ourselves? Jairu, so we don't get recognized quickly. Izuku, oh, handing her a jacket, seeing her try it on. She can see the improvement of his training. His wings aren't cutting SHT in half. Jairu tries on her outfit she chose. How is it, seeing it's, well, it's a dress, a purple top with white pants and green boots with a black jacket and black beret. Who was embarrassed besides the UA outfit. She never wears skirts. Izuku, appealing, he said quickly, which caused her to blush more. Jairu, oh, thanks I guess, and he nods and he claps his hands in approval for her choice. Jairu, alright mister, your turn. Soon they try to find special made cloths for quirks like his, of course one's dealing with wings, but they found some made for those with 2, not 6. Can't say I have one that could support his honestly, it indeed is very unique. Soon she tries to find something, but comes back. I only have this, it's not much, but I hope it helps, bringing out a small shirt that was a zipper on the back. So he tries it on, and voila, it works. Izuku, wow, seeing the white-colored shirt, with the words, shirt on it. Jairu, that's a funny shirt, but it's good enough, how about a cap? Jairu, actually hold off on the cap, let's get you. Here we go, putting shades on him now, she was so close to his face now. The clerk just smiles and leave them be. Jairu, I never noticed how much your eyes shine, or faintly glow. Izuku, I didn't know that. Soon she leans in closer, Izuku stayed like that, a bit confused on what she's going to do. Soon he found out. As her lips met with his, he wings, in a way, kind of wag, similar to a dog's tail, but it kinda created a small gust, but he stops, now he's blushing. Izuku, Jairu, sorry, just needed to do that hee, just in case we don't make it out of this, I wanted to do that. Izuku holds her hand and feels it on his cheek. Soon he goes in for another kiss, shocked a little, but she accepts it. Jairu was so happy, feeling all her emotions flooding in, the joy of being able to have someone accept her for who she is, not about her image. He came into her life and lifted her out of the dark, as she did the same to him. Ahem, they broke and looked to see Kirishima crying and giving a thumbs up with Toga as well, smiling for the two. Todoroki, we need to hurry. Seeing their disguise, Toga just had her hair down and a regular jeans and black shirt with a red jacket. Kirishima, we're all set. Sniff, I'm so proud of you, dude. Toga, so cute, squealing. Jairu, right? Shall we? And he smiles, nodding. Izuku still holds onto her hand, ready to save their captured classmates. Izuku, is this how it is, to love someone? Now smiling more, of course Bakugo and the others will be against this, but he doesn't care, as long as she is okay with him, then nothing matters, except to fix the world, the words no longer matter to him. This marks the end of What If Deku Became Angel of Destruction. A big thanks to Marth747 for granting the permission to feature this amazing fanfiction. The link of the original fanfiction is in the description below. Please like the video and subscribe to Deku Universe for more interesting stories. Thank you and see you soon.